Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another training vlog. We are on the third week of redeeming myself here. I got a lot of redemptioning to do. Anyways, this is 165 pounds for bench press. Bench press, interestingly enough, was relatively my best lift, but it's actually not my favorite lift at all. I've always found it to be very boring. I've always felt very good after a good squat session, but after a good bench session, it's always like, meh, whatever. Overhead press, 100 pounds, starting to move the weight up a little bit, and form is actually staying intact. It's actually improving TBH. Elbows are staying nice and under the bar. I'm swaying a lot less. Moving on to pull-ups, 3 sets of 5. I love this exercise. I will always keep this in my program, whatever it is. And I gotta work those Kegels with that 17-pound bag right between my legs that I'm gonna drop right now. Bloop, there it goes. 3 sets of 10 with dips. I really like dips, but I hate doing it on this bar, and I'm only gonna show 5 reps because it's boring AF. Moving on to the lower heavy day, 3 sets of 5 with 245 pounds. Now the weights are increasing, but interestingly enough, it actually feels the same or sometimes easier than the previous week, even though the weights are increasing. And I attribute that to just me getting used to lifting the weights and having the weight on my back and just doing these exercises again. Also, let me know, sometimes the third set feels easier than the first one. And I just attribute that to, again, mentally, I think it's more of a mental thing than a physical thing. Yes, you do warm up more, but I do think that you just get used to the weight and you're just kind of more prepped for it, so it's just easier, you know? Side-by-side comparison of conventional versus sumo deadlifts in real time this time, no editing, no cutting. I pace myself a lot more slowly with sumo deadlifts, and I think that's because I do them second, so maybe I am a little bit more fatigued. But I think sumo is a much more technical lift. With conventional deadlifts, I can just kind of yank it off the ground and it kind of just works. But sumo, it takes a lot of careful positioning. Speaking of technique, barbell rows, knees out, and that will keep them out of the way of the bar path. Light day, light portion of the week. I keep the exercise selection pretty basic, pretty simple. But I do have a little bit of variation, and the variation that I have on light days is that on bench press, I do them touch and go, except for that last rep there where I just like to take a nap. And that is because 8 reps with pauses, hell no, that would just take way too long. I would just die. So I find bench to be boring enough, so I don't want to spend that much time on the bench. But that way I just have some variety too, and just to keep things a little bit spicy, not too spicy, just a little bit spicy. Let me know if you guys like a lot of variation in your workout templates, or do you guys like, you know, try to stick with the basics and keep it the same from day to day. I like to keep things the same because, you know, the more you do something, the better you get out of it. But if you have like high bar squats on one day and then front squats on the next day, you only get to practice high bar squats once a week then, you know, in that case. Speaking of high bar squats, landing nicely on the lower body day, light day. 3 sets of 8. My knees were kind of bothering me this day, and I noticed during the warm-ups that I was pushing my knees out. After all this time of lifting and squatting, sometimes I fall for these ideas, these concepts that are supposed to be facts. But, you know, everyone can agree that knee valgus, knees caving in, is bad, but, you know, I think that knee varus is also bad. So, yeah, just keep my knees in the same direction as my toes, and they are happy. Romanian deadlifts, I like to do these fast because the weight is very light, just playing it safe for my gluteus maximus. But to get those fast twitch muscle fibers going, I do like to do them fast. But I do not recommend that if you do not have the flexibility. Anyways, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you next time. But until then, don't forget to put your goddamn weight to it.